I just got out of the theaters from seeing Harold and the Purple Crayon, so let's talk about it. So yes, guys, I just got out of the theaters from seeing Harold and the Purple Crayon. And guys, this movie is based off the children's book titled Harold and the Purple Crayon. The movie is starring Zachary Levi. And yeah, this movie was I was not expecting anything from this movie. I saw the score on Rotten Tomatoes and nothing good. It just another kids film that's based off a book, children's book. And yeah, I wasn't expecting anything from the film. I don't think it was awful. I do not think this was a good film at all, though. I think it was just a bad kids film. Okay, guys, the problem I really had with it is the storyline went nowhere. The storyline went nowhere. The bad guy was off. The villain, he was, awful. Bro, we got, he was a villain for less than 10 minutes. He had no motive. And also, none of the jokes really landed. Sure, there's some funny parts in the movie. But, there's the first half, which was good, funny jokes. And, in kids' movies. The other half is, these bad jokes that they try to make. That none of the jokes really land, guys. But let's get into the review. Let's go. The movie begins with this baby who has a purple crayon, which is Harold, and then he makes, because he wants friends. Then he makes a moose and a porcupine. That's their actual names. So anyway, then there's this narrator, and then he goes to bed, and it's a long time later. We see him. He's a lot older in the animated world. He's created his own city with the purple crayon. Anyway, guys, before I carry on, I forgot to mention there are spoilers. You know this from every review video I make. There's going to be spoilers, so don't get mad at me in the comments. Also, let me know, what did you think of Harold and the Purple Crayon in the comments. Let's carry on. Anyway, guys, so after that, after he's just playing around with his crayon, talks to the narrator, he's wondering what happens. Then he goes to bed and he talks to the narrator again, but realizes the narrator is not responding. So then the moose says, or the porcupine, I don't know, that we might have went to the real world. So then he makes a door to the real world, and he and then he goes through it, and the moose goes with him. The porcupine gets stuck in the door, so the porcupine doesn't go with the two. They start adapting to the real world, and yeah, they're just adapting to it. There's some funny scenes. He thinks this random old person is the old man. I guess that's what he called the narrator. And then the guy hits him with a cane. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, but still, I did not like this movie very much. I'd probably give this film a 4 out of 10. It wasn't awful, but it definitely was not a good movie. Anyway. Oh yeah. So then him and the moose meet up, and they're going biking, and then we meet two new characters with this girl named Terry and her son named Mel, and they almost crash into Harold and the moose. And they offer for them to stay the night, and the porcupine finally gets to the real world, but she's wondering where her friends are, so she's just wondering what's going on, can't find them anywhere. Anyway, then they go to the house, and they start just chilling, talking, and then he shows, after the crash, he made a wheel for the girl, Terry. Anyway, so they they go and they make this spider fly, and then Then they start screaming and just leave. And anyway, then Terry says she's gonna go to work and says, "Hey, Mel, you gotta go to school, man," which he does not. Goes with them. They fly a plane. No. They roller skate and they meet up with this guy at the library there because Harold is trying to find the old man. And it's this weirdo guy. I think his name is like Greg. I forget his name. I think it's Greg. Anyway, he talks to him because he has a big crush on Mel's mom, Terry. So he's like, "Oh, hey, can I date her or something?" Anyway, then he tells him, like, because he's looking for an old man. So then he's like, "Hey, why don't you put the phone number of someone in the sky?" In which they go in a plane, they put the phone number in purple in the sky, which is Terry's phone. And a bunch of old people start calling her, which is pretty funny. And she's like, "What's going on?" And then, yeah, so then they drop Mel off at school, and he meets with then the bullies, like, start punching him and stuff. And the teacher's like, "Hey, he needs to go home." So then she's like, "I can't because I'm working." But then she realizes that because Harold and the moose are there. So then she's like, "Hey, can you two, like, just do my job for me so I don't get fired?" They're like, "Okay, sure." So then they do that, and they start causing chaos, and this girl's like, "Hey, I want to go hire him this, like, little helicopter thing, those, like, things that, like, just move." And then she goes flying, and then the mom is, like, grabbing on them and, like, trash the store. She gets back with Mel. She gets then she gets fired, and she acts mad, but she's actually not mad because she hated the job anyway. So then they leave, and they go just walking. It's nighttime, and they get ice cream, and Harold makes a piano for her. So then she, I forgot to mention, Mel, his dad, which is Terry's husband, my bad, he died, apparently. Obviously, we never get to see it because it's a kid's film, but, like, just apparently he died. We don't know how, just he died. There's this, like, guy, what's his name? Carlo, something like that. I don't know. There's, like, imaginary friend of Mel's. But anyway, so yeah, they trash the store. She doesn't care. All right, and then he makes piano for Terry. She plays since she always wanted to be a musician when she was younger. So she has fun. Yeah, she's happy. And then playing piano and stuff. That guy named Greg wants the crayon. So, like, he's pretty shocked. He meets up with them and explains to Harold and the moose what's going on. So, in private, Terry and Mel leave, and he tells Harold and the moose that they're created by this book, and that the narrator is actually the writer of the kids' book, Harold and the Purple Crayon, which is the movie, obviously. Anyway, so he tells them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" Then they run into Porcupine finally. She was doing other stuff. We gotta, like, give her a little screen time, but that doesn't really matter. Moose and Porcupine obviously are humans right now. They're all humans. So then Harold is like, then a cop was chasing Porcupine, so gets her, and all three of them are arrested, and they're in jail together, and then they get the crayon back and escape from prison. And then he decides to go back and look for the narrator, and he finally finds out where he is, so they all go, and with Mel. Terry's looking all over for him and runs into him at the house, and he finds out that the narrator guy passed away. He died. So Harold's pretty sad, and then he doesn't believe in his drawings anymore, and they all, like, vanish. So Porcupine and Moose, they vanish. So he's pretty sad, and then he gets into a car with Greg, that guy, and then he gives half the crayon to Greg, and then he's actually bad, and gives him handcuffs, so he's sticking there, and then Mel comes in, and then he's sticking there. Carrie doesn't know what's going on. So anyway, yeah. Alright, so anyway, sorry about that. Sorry guys, just give me a second. So guys, anyway, then they beat him basically, they fight Greg, and they give him this like new world. He goes there, and basically that's it. And then that's like funny, and then we see his imaginary friend, Mel's. But yeah, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you liked Harold and the Purple Crayon. Have a good one, everyone. See ya.